Hey, stay black in America. Don't leave, don't go anywhere. America is the number one greatest economy in the world, and black folks living in America make up the 15th most greatest economy in the world. So you don't want to leave and go anywhere. Your dreams can come true right here in America. What I want to do today, man, is I want to send a shout out to Aura, Calvert, Steuart, a lawyer in Maryland. And also send a shout out to his family law business, which is Steuart and Steuart, attorneys at law. Man, I was in a real bad pickle about 2006. My dad had died in 2005, and for one reason or another, some family members wanted to put the family grocery store business that I had been running since 1985 until the present date in 2006 was 21 years. I was 47, of course, then. This is 2022 now on November the 11th, and wanted to put it up for sale, man. So I talked to one of my brothers, Glenn. He said, "Man, I think you should get a lawyer." I said, "Well, okay, my guy, get a lawyer. First thing I'm gonna do is pray for a lawyer, because you don't want to just walk around and pick anybody, because some lawyers in it just for the money, and some lawyers in it for the actually listen to what you have to say and maybe get you a victory on it." And this is what Mr. Calvert Steuart Sr. did. He gave me a victory. He gave me great comfort. We had that consultation in 2006 in his office up in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I was explaining how my family was fragmented. Everybody was going their own ways. Somebody tried to take advantage of others. Father had passed, so my mother was still living. But this is the kind of thing that occurs, I guess, in every family. Well, not every family, I find out, but a lot of families. So hired him. I said definitely he would work on the situation, so they couldn't just sell something up on me. So I've been in business for so long, and even though my father passed away, we had the agreement with my father and mother that that you run the store as long as you want to run the store. If you decide to leave the store, you leave it packed full of product like you started running it in 2006. So I had always lived with that obligation, always paid rent on time, always did everything I had to do, all the maintenance to take care of stuff, did everything, man. So it wouldn't be anything my parents had to be, concerned about. And so I hired him in 2006, man. We had a good conversation in his office. He was, it was really embarrassing to one point, because he was telling me, family shouldn't act like that. Female and male members of family should be respectful of one another, and his family don't carry themselves like that. They carry themselves in love with everybody's in love, everybody's in order, everybody's in line, getting things done. And by the way, I would have to say that Calvert Steuart is a white guy. I don't know what ethnic he is, white, but he's a white guy. So that's what God sent me to, man. I prayed, I went up to Marlboro, I walked the sidewalks, and God told me to go inside that particular building. I went inside that particular building, met him for the first time. Met his wife. She invited me to church first time I met her. So you're in the right place. Someone's in the office asking Dad if he wants something for lunch, but Dad told him no. So we went back there talking, man, as he discussed, and Mr. Calvert Steuart discussed and told me how, family should be. I was, ashamed of what my family was doing after my father's death. It was really shameful. So to follow the story through, it started in 2006, it didn't end in 2008, right? So hired him for one thing. Then I ended up hiring him for another thing, which is very crucial, because at the same time I bought a new vehicle. I bought a 2007 Kia Sedona from a dealership out there in Maryland. And the car started having problems, man. Stopped, wasn't working. It was brand new. And I was like, so I called him, I said, man, I said, Mr. Calvert Steuart, I said, Calvert Steuart, Mr. Steuart, I went up there to the dealership, man. They're telling me it's going to cost me, $9,000 to $10,000 to have the car fixed, and something I did wrong to it. It was a brand new car that I just bought. Not my first brand new car I bought, so I was thrown back at it. Guy behind the counter kind of smiled, sneered at me. Again, I had to, clarification, a younger white guy. You're gonna pay that $9,000 to $10,000, man, to get it fixed, and we got you. So I'm thinking like, jeez. I just called my wife to pick me up, man. I started walking back from about Route 1 back to in town. I think she picked me up like a mile and a half from the place. I was just steaming hot, man. It was snow on the ground. I was steaming hot, man, walking. And she picked me up. First thing I did, a day later, I went to Calvert Steuart, gave him a call, man, told him the situation. He said, come by my office, we can talk about it. Came by his office, man, talked about it. He said, do I have any numbers to the Kia place? I had a number to the CEO. This is what's so amazing about this is that dealership place told me between $9,000 and $10,000, right? I go to Cal Steuart office. He gets a number to the CEO for Kia Motors, right? He calls. CEO happens to be a female. I gather a white lady from the phone. He talks to her and says, I have a client here that just bought a brand new car a few months ago, and a car that's just not working. It stopped working, and the dealership wants to charge them $9,000 or $10,000 to make whatever was right wrong, saying there was something that he had done wrong with the vehicle. He says, and she says, oh, maybe I should switch you to the lawyer department in Kia. And he tells her, he says, you know what? I think that would be a bad idea to switch me into the lawyer department. You get two lawyers together, it's going, it's going to be a problem some kind of way. She said, well, okay, well, I'll listen to what you had to say. He says, it's probably just a simple shop work thing that needs to be done. Something that the dealership is charging a high price for, that it can be corrected very easily. So he suggested, said, look, just get the vehicle fixed. She said, you know what, I think I'll take your advice and do that. And I was amazed. I sat there in the chair and I was absolutely amazed at how comfortable he was, his expertise, just everything, man, how he was talking. And she said, and then he also said, my client's going to need a rent-a-car. She says, well, it's not our policy to give people rent-a-cars, right, at that particular time. But he said, well, hey, the guy's got a business. He needs his vehicle to work in business. She said, well, I'll make an exception. We'll call it Enterprise, and we'll get a car, line up for him so he can have it, and we'll fix his car. And my client doesn't want his car fixed where he bought it from. He wants it fixed in Briggs Cheney, Maryland. She said, no problem. So the car was it's towed to Briggs Cheney, fixed, corrected. I was called a week later, said, hey, come pick your car. The car's good to go. And I went and picked that 2007 Kia Sedona up. Yeah, and just for sake, I was so gratified at that particular time. I had to spend $10,000. I got a rent-a-car free. That my lawyer handled the case in 5 minutes. 5 minutes pretty much on the phone, handled that. I was so impressed, man, that I said to myself, I'm going to keep this vehicle. So that 2007 Kia Sedona, I haven't bought a new car since. It's 15 years later, 2022, and I'm driving that same Kia Sedona to honor not only God for finding this lawyer for me, but the lawyer, the work he did, and the CEO for Kia Motors. Then he went on to handle a case, an estate case. Not everybody, a lot of people are at each other's throats. They're trying to get as much money they can get out of the estate. Everybody's doing this, doing that, and he handled the estate thing for me. We went to court for the estate. Mr. Calvert Steuart had everything in order. He had the notary public in order to sign the new will. He had everybody in place, all the witnesses in place, everything like a slam dunk, and then we ran into a lawyer who knew the other client's lawyer. They were speaking back and forth in the court to each other, and the judge was telling the other female lawyer what she should do. And Calvert Steuart was just waiting nice. And I had to admit had to say that the judge was a colored woman, very light-skinned, pale-faced colored woman, and the lawyer was a very dark-skinned Afro-American woman, and the client was another light-skinned, Black American. and so I was like shocked that they would take that situation and turn it into a circus. Calvert Steuart, I was saying like what's going on? He said, don't worry. He said, I see what they're doing. It's going to take us a little longer. So he went on and calmed down. To me it was more like reverse discrimination. Discriminating on, and this time a white lawyer is being discriminated by a light-skinned judge and a dark-skinned lawyer and a light-skinned black client, because we had everything in order. He had everything in order the way it's supposed to be. And that person's lawyer got up and started talking about this family's been arguing back and forth. That had nothing to do. That's emotional. The bottom line was that my will was the last will to be submitted, which means that will is the will that's supposed to be accepted by the court. But the judge, the light-skinned judge, decided to hire an administrator to the will, which in turn takes another $14,000 away from what might have been split amongst the family. So to make a long story short, that administrator, that administrator of the will, elected me to be the executive of the will, man. So I ended up cutting the final checks to everybody, getting everything organized and done, and getting that kind of situation over with. All a sad occasion. My father died in 2005, mother died in 2008. Two wonderful parents, and I had to go through this kind of situation with a family, So it's just a crazy thing, man. But I have to say that Steuart was an excellent lawyer. Never met his sons, met his wife. I think they're a nice, wonderful couple. Again, God doesn't make any mistakes. Sent me in the right place, got me the right lawyer, and brought me comfort in those 3 years of time when father passing and mother passing. So, I ended up getting the vehicle fixed and still have it today. I ended up working out a deal with my mom, deed transfer deal to get the grocery store, continue to run that to this present day, and became executive of the will. So despite all the challenges against me, God gave me the victory, along with giving me a lawyer like Calvert Steuart from Maryland, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and Stewart's law firm. Gave me the victory, man. So you got to stay prayed up. You don't know where your blessings come from. You don't know who your adversary is going to be. And in the midst of these struggles, my two older brothers, which were not the oldest brothers in the family, but my brother Glenn and my brother Eric Price, came to aid during the whole time. And my brother Glenn Price came to aid despite his children not wanting him to get bothered in it. So you talk about families. Sometimes the dynamic goes further. You had a brother and his children. His children saying, "Leave your brother out to hang." Hang, So people do this ancestor stuff and talk about families, and this one found somebody is. That's the closest you can get it right there. And they were going to let me dangle in the wind, man. A situation that was, adverse for me, a situation that I shouldn't have been in the first place. If people were all one accord and loved each other and treated each other like family. So that family term is thrown out there, man. But anybody who treated me like family it was Mr. Calvert Steuart, Sr., a lawyer in Maryland. So that's my shout out to him. I visited him a year ago. He's an older guy now, still practicing from his house, and always giving me good advice, always telling me what best moves to make, and found to be an extraordinary asset, extraordinary man, extraordinary lawyer, an extraordinary husband, an extraordinary father, all those kind of things that you would expect in a man. And his family's current on the tradition. They're all lawyers up there. They serve Upper Marlboro, Fredericksburg, Maryland, probably some other places I'm not aware of. But that's my shout out, man, to Calvert Steuart and Stewart's law firm. So look, stay black in America. Don't go anywhere, don't leave. It is truly the greatest country for a black man and a black woman. You can become anything you want to become, and let's not let racism go both ways. There's a lot of wonderful white folks out there doing wonderful things, and there's a lot of them doing negative things. But Calvert Steuart's law firm and Steuart law firm, they treat everybody the same, man. And I think they're blessed of God. So stay black in America. Until next time, subscribe to my channel. Bye.